Who handles 3 federally declared disasters in 11 years? What county builds a state prison? Who punches through new railroad for Alaska? Who exports the first Alaska shipment of scrap steel directly to Asia? Who remembers the smaller things? We do.
The totals for actual construction, you get $53.8 million, which will be under construction this summer. That is a big construction program, and in 11 separate construction contracts, and the average size of them will be somewhere around $5 million, some less, some more, but that is a big load.
Add to the big load $214 million in school bond projects getting underway. Thanks to Mat-Su voters, 87 projects in all, ranging from a $65 million middle and high school to fields of artificial turf. Again, the borough presents a case to legislators for priority projects for the fastest growing community in Alaska. In a tighter state capital budget, local legislators returned $143 million. In a 6-month effort, borough planning staff challenged dated federal floodplain maps with new technology. The elevation data of LIDAR is helping show how many residents' properties are not within an area of high flood risk. The data will save thousands of dollars annually in needless flood insurance for many residents. The $242 million state prison opened its doors with little notice, but if you were looking, it has significant impact. Just a year before, 190 correction jobs didn't exist. 2 years prior, 325 construction workers and a $110 million payroll were not on the books. The collaboration between borough, state, and builder held to such high standards, the prison earned a national award from the Design Build Institute of America.
And the end product is impeccable. You'd never get it built for that again, ever.
Nearby, another new town site is gaining momentum. Accessible only by snow machine, plane, or boat, the town of Fish Creek could one day have a main street. The old is turning new in town as well. The Territorial Schoolhouse from 1935, what is today the borough's administration offices, is gaining 18,000 square feet with an assembly chamber expansive enough for 350 citizens. More opportunity. The draft plan of an upcoming timber harvest has 3 times the acreage of the last one. There's never been such widespread opportunity for residents who want to heat their homes with firewood, or for the small-scale timber salesmen. Already, 4,000 cords of wood are getting prepared for sale, all while the forest is managed for sustainability. The community of Sutton wouldn't settle anymore for a library that only gained a new book when an old book was cast out. They dug in their pockets, rallied for funding, and drew believers. Today, the library is a main gathering place in town and one of inspiration and possibilities. Not all is well. Sport fishing used to be a way of life and a $100 million industry. Now it's a fourth of that size. The fish aren't coming back yet. But fortune comes to the borough through fish expertise, that of retired fish biologists and former chairman of the state's highest fish regulating body. The Mat-Su Borough's Fish and Wildlife Commission built their message well, shared it in Juneau, and rallied $7 million for the future of northern Cook Inlet fish. Trails are the #1 favorite in the Mat-Su. 7.5 kilometers of Nordic ski trails created a stir of activity this winter. In a single event, 500 visitors took in the sweep of mountains and valley floor from the trail. The trails are the beginning of a recreation magnet.
1, 2, 3.
We never gave up 26 years later from when the first dreams of skiing, new skiing at Hatcher Pass, and here we are. So this is just the beginning. I see this as like a glowing ember of a very large bonfire.
New access is opening up for snow machiners on the west side of Hatcher Pass. The borough put $350,000 toward the Zero Lake Trailhead at Houston. and a trailhead at Bald Mountain off Sites Road is next. Last summer, Port Mackenzie handled a heavy lift involving $5.4 million in cargo. 2 giant spools with 3.4 miles of electrical cable were incrementally and skillfully offloaded to a barge for the Fire Island Wind project. New lessees at Port Mackenzie are building routes. Pac Arctic Logistics now offers monthly cargo service from Port Olympia, Washington. Central Alaska Energy is prepping for construction of its 6.9 million gallon fuel tanks. This summer, heavy construction on 4 segments gets underway on the $272 million Port Mackenzie rail extension. The 32-mile rail link will bring Alaska economic diversification, state revenues, and new jobs.
Central 4-4, loud and clear.
Matsu on-call responders are often willing to push aside dinner or sleep to respond to a page. They train endlessly to get it right when it matters. On September 18th, when the 2012 flood disaster hit, responders were ready. More than 120 people from many agencies joined forces. The staff in the Emergency Operations Center managed the crisis 24 hours a day. Within a week's end, 823 buildings were damaged, 141 of them homes. 4 homes destroyed, some of them grabbed by a creek or river and pulled in. The town of Talkeetna was flooded and evacuated. Some residents in Butte and along major creeks retreated with their belongings. Tools like LiDAR showed why a flash flood brought waist-high water into homes outside Wasilla along Maryland Circle. Rescuers from the Matsu Central Fire Department and Water Rescue Team appeared at midnight in rafts, rapping at their windows to ferry them to safety. More than 40 roads closed. Borough Public Works, contractors, and DOT worked incredible hours through rain and high winds to restore access to most roads in less than 2 weeks. Floodwaters scouring through Willow Creek crumbled part of the Shirleytown Bridge, preventing residents from traveling home. Crews built a nearby bridge in 2 weeks instead of the expected 8. Nothing like this bridge work had ever been done in the borough. On the heels of the flood came wind and fire. Responders were confronted with 57 emergencies over 5 days, including 15 fires. The Unified Command with Palmer, state troopers, forestry, and the borough prevented a subdivision of homes from going up. Who pulls a life from an icy trench? Who responds to orders from all directions? Who pauses to remember? We do.